I think. Yes, we're live on Facebook, I think.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Technology. Where were we without technology before this, right? We've all become instant technology experts since the crisis has occurred. But we're going to talk today about thriving in times of uncertainty and around how movement's important. So I want to welcome Matt and Sheridan from Fit Body, Fit Mind. Now, these guys are my body trainers. Some of you have asked me over the years, Benny, how do you do it? And the answer is these guys help me maintain this incredible physique. And so I've invited them on today because there are a stack of people that are now working from home. They're out of their normal rituals and routines of exercising. And importantly, as part of the shutdowns, we've seen gyms close. Now, for me, it was weird this week to actually wake up and go, oh, I can't go to the gym. Fridays for me is a ritual, a routine where I catch up with some really cool dudes. We train together, we go out for coffee afterwards. That's not going to happen this Friday. So I thought I'd get these guys on so they can share a little bit more about, first of all, the importance of movement, particularly in these times of uncertainty, and some tips and tricks that you can do at home to kind of make the most of movement and how you can integrate it into your life. So welcome, guys. Tell us a little bit, first of all, just about your journey and how you ended up in this place of helping people move better.
Well, really, it starts with Matt, to be honest. I like the little handball there for me to tell the story. But it starts with Matt. Matt got diagnosed with cancer at 24 years of age. And from then that was kind of like, that was a blessing, really, because it kick-started him. And it was a kick up the ass, a fourth step in the right direction to follow his dream of being a personal trainer. Through that, we then got to create Fit Body, Fit Mind 7 years ago, which is the beautiful establishment we're in now. We are a PT studio, so we do by appointment only. So personal training, and then we also do classes. And we're just so blessed to be in this space because we get to work with a bunch of legends every day. We literally get to save lives. Like in a time of crisis like now, people are really understanding the value of health and fitness, and it's becoming more apparent and more obvious how important this exercise business really is. And so we're here. We have 250 members that train out of this little studio in Frankston, Victoria. And we do it all through simple. Everything's got to be simple because our industry over the last 20 years has grown dramatically. If you follow Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all of that, there's fitness everywhere. It's not a case of no accessibility anymore. It's a case of almost, over flooding the market. However, in that last 20 years, the statistics of from the World Health Organization is that we've gone from 90% of the world not exercising to 95% of the world not exercising. And for us, that's heartbreaking because this is our mission. Our mission is to create a disease-free world, one person at a time, through simple health and fitness. And that goes to show that our industry is failing. And what we want to know from that is why. Why is our industry failing when everyone, no matter who you are, whichever industry or whatever part of the fitness industry you're in, whether it's CrossFit or Pilates or running or triathlons or whatever it might be, we actually all have the same goal, is to get people moving. Some people have different philosophies and theories and things like that, but our end goal is just to get everyone moving, and we're failing at it.
But what's fitness and exercise got to do with health? Now, I know that sounds like crazy, right? And it's like, why would you even ask that, right? But I was on a podcast interview this morning and I was chatting with a guy about how at the moment, we've got a lot of people moving away from sickness, but not necessarily towards health. Because hand sanitizing and separation and putting 1.5 meters between us may stop you getting sick, but it doesn't make you healthy. The immune system is an incredible thing. It's been around for hundreds of thousands of years in human species. And I'm here today because of the generations before me that have had an immune system without hand sanitizer, right? And so how does fitness and movement improve real health? How does it actually improve my immune function and make me healthier?
Right. Well, it overloads your system. So when you move vigorously, not so much walking and stuff like that, you need to actually elevate the heart rate. And through doing that, it increases your cardiovascular system, which increases, as a byproduct of that, it actually increases your immune system. So to increase your heart rate through physical activity is the goal. Everybody should achieve that. We've always done it since hunter-gatherer days. You know, you go out and you forage, and men would get into the bush and all that sort of stuff. And they would have to aggressively do stuff to keep their fitness up. And as we've evolved over time, the challenge has been that we didn't evolve with the times. So once technology entered, we became more dormant, more sedentary. We sit down, we're on our phones a lot more, we're at desks a lot more. And unfortunately, with that sitting becomes stagnation. And with stagnation, like a pond, it just creates an environment for disease to sit in, if that makes sense.
Stink as well.
And it stinks. And
that's a really interesting point there, Matty, if I can jump in for a second. So you're saying that the walk I had this morning was good, but not super good.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are going, okay, you know, my new rituals, I'm gonna go for a walk every day. Yeah. And we get, there's benefits in the walking, but you're saying it's like there's a better version.
Absolutely.
For sure. Now, with a little sub-clause there is walking can be great for mental health, of course. We're not saying don't walk. However, it depends on your fitness level. So for you, who is a fit guy, I'm sure you didn't get huffy puffy. However, someone who's very unfit, a walk could be the equivalent to you running up a hill 10 times kind of thing. So it's all within our measure. So the overload that Matt's talking about is the way to measure that is by getting huffy puffy. So heart rate's pumping, you're short of breath, and then it usually follows on with sweat, all that kind of beautiful byproducts and stuff like that. But it's the overload, so it's the huffy puffy that we're talking about. And if you're a fit person, walking ain't going to cut it.
Yeah.
So how long do you need to huff and puff?
That's a great question.
We love that question. Well, the question is how often do you want to feel high? So if you really apply yourself to getting huffy puffy, it can take as quick as 7, 8, 10 seconds. We like to say 10 seconds because it's a really easy number to get your head around. 10 seconds is going to overload your body system. So it's going to increase the heart rate. It's going to make you huff and puff. It releases endorphins and all these chemicals in the brain to make you feel good. It does all these wonderful things in the body, and that's from 10 seconds. But that's full maximum effort. Yeah. Now,
how would I do that right now? If I'm feeling a little bit low, right?
Yep.
How could I feel low talking to you two, right? But if I was feeling a little bit low and I needed to kind of be pumped up, how do I do that in 10 seconds?
We're just gonna.
I'm gonna use my hands. I'm gonna do it in a goofy way. So I'm only gonna use my arms because I'm sitting down. I've got an injury at the moment, so I'm not gonna let my injury be my reason I can't move fast. I'm gonna be creative and innovative, and I can either shadow box really fast. Or I'm gonna do sprinting. So I'm gonna sprint my arms. Sheridan's gonna run on the spot as fast as she can. Ben, you can choose to box if you've got that knee still giving you challenges. Otherwise, you could give it a go and run on the spot too. Totally up to you. But we're going to go for as long as we can, which would be around 10 seconds. You ready?
And it's maximum effort. That is the key.
You got to look goofy the better, almost. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I didn't even get off the seat and my heart rate is up. It's starting to beat. Kicks on.
Where's your heart rate up?
You get that little massive dose of all those beautiful chemicals that get released, which helps with all those things like depression and stuff like that. It's a brilliant little tool that you can do. And you don't even have to get off your seat if you've got an injury. And if you just want to sit there, you can just move your legs like you're on a bicycle. There's so many variations.
The brilliant thing about this is you don't even have to put on gym gear. You don't have to have a gym membership. You don't need to have any equipment. You can do it in your office. You can go to the bathroom for 10 seconds, do it at your office so you can inspire the people around you. Of course, they'll be 1.5 meters away from you. But it's literally just about raising that heart rate. And the answer is how often do you want to feel high?
Because that juice feeling you feel now, that elevation of that heart rate, it's circulating through your body. You're feeling good. So then you just did that, say once an hour, that's constantly giving you that hit. And it takes you 10, 20 seconds if you're a bit more stamina based. So it's not long, but if you give it max effort, it won't be much more than 10 or 20 seconds. So
you know, people, one of the things that's lacking at the moment is certainty. People want certainty. So if you were to say to the people who are watching this, if you want to kind of feel, if you want to have an impact, this is minimum standard. You want to be, like pretty good around this This is the standard. And then this is like, this would be ultimate, right? How often? They want to do 10 to 15 seconds. How often should they do it minimum standard?
I would say at least 3 times a day. If you're just doing a bare ass minimum, so full on BAMs, I would say at least commit to 3 times a day as like an absolute BAM, just to hit 3 good hits of the day. 1 in the morning, 1 at lunch, 1 before you go to bed. Just feel good when you start the day, when you end the day, and in the middle of the day. As a BAM, if you want to feel consistently good, like Sheridan said before, that's a dose of highness that you get. That's the same feeling people get when they drink alcohol. It's the same feeling they feel when they take drugs and start smoking for the first time. They feel the sense of what they believe chemically, the change in their body is making them feel better. But really what it is doing is you're giving it to yourself free, because you're just moving on the spot, and you can give it to you whenever you want. You don't have to go light a cigarette. You don't have to go pour a glass of wine. You can just do it in the car. Like, you can be anywhere and have a hit. So it's like Sheridan said, you can be high or drunk or whatever your thing is. You could do that constantly through the day as many times as you want to do it, because you recover quickly. And so in about 30 minutes time, if you did it again, it's not going to affect your day. You can do it when you're sitting on the toilet. If you really want to be, you don't want to get embarrassed, you can just do these ones. And then what happens after that's up to you. But so we say 3 times as a BAM. And if you're feeling good and you just want that hit all the time, then by all means, just when you're ready, when you're feeling it, like one of those phone calls that just uncertainty comes into your life, right? Move and start moving. Like, just detach yourself from the phone call, get that sort of move the drugs through your body, the happy drugs that we call them, all those good things, and then move on from that phone call. You'll find that it's just a tool to get through tough times. And it's easy. You don't need anything to do it other than the willingness to do it, is what it really comes down to.
I love that, because, so often when we do have uncertainty, we've got a choice, which is to do this. What do you call this thing?
What's that?
Huffing and puffing.
Huffing, puffing.
You can do some huffing and puffing, increase the good chemicals, improve immune function, decrease the stress chemicals in your body. Or, what I've been known to do sometimes too is in that stress state, and instead of doing huffy puffy, you do drinky drinky.
Yeah. We've all been
eating, right? But you're feeling like a little bit low and you're just a bit uptight, so you go and get a cookie. Or you're feeling a bit low and a little bit uptight, and you go and get a glass of wine or 2. Yeah, I know that a little while ago when I was injured and I wasn't able to exercise as much, I'd come home after work and I'd go glug 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 glug, right? Instead of going for a walk or going for a run like I used to.
Yeah.
So awesome advice, particularly in these times, not just so that that you improve immune function, decrease stress, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But the alternative, which is that you drink and eat, doesn't move you closer to health, moves you further away. So one option, move closer, the other option, move further away. So yeah, I love that.
Because we've got to simplify it, because we've got to remember, us 3 here right now, we value health and fitness. So we're healthy, fit and strong people. So if someone was to say to us, go for a 15-minute run, we can do it for sure. However, we've got to remember that the statistics are 95% of our world don't exercise. Yeah. So how can we make it simple and enticing for them? Because the 95% of the world that don't exercise, they're the ones that are at risk at the moment, because their immune function isn't at peak performance. They're, all of their body systems are not at peak performance, and they can't handle something like this. So we've got to make it as simple as possible and take out the confusion, take out the complexity, and just move. And that's why quite often for someone like yourself, it'd be hard to think that 10 seconds can do any good for you. But especially if you're part of that 95%, that does massive amounts for you.
Yeah. Very good example of that, because Sheridan's a very fit, fast runner. She loves it. And we stripped off all the training that she was doing, and we only let her do sprints, like these 10-second sprints through the day. So she wasn't allowed to do them all the time. She wasn't allowed to sit there for an hour and just do them all the time. It was like one on the hour, kind of every hour. And she did that. And then she went for her 5-kilometer run, which she likes to do regularly. And she ran a PB through doing these tiny little 10-second sprint intervals, when she used to have to do all these multiple runs all the time, which she thought that's what she had to do. So she stripped back her training, and she is a fit person. She sits in the 5%. The 95% don't do that. So we need to get it as close to doing absolutely nothing as we possibly can to entice them to want to do something. because that 10 seconds is better for them than the cookie, the wine, that stuff. And they can do it anywhere in the world with nothing.
Now, in addition to Huffy Puffy, you need to get strong. So strength, body strength also assists mental toughness too, and mental strength. Now, how do you get strong? Again, it's overload. So it's overloading those muscles. So you've got to lift something that's heavy. So you got to find something that is heavy. There's no use me lifting this pen 100 times. It'll eventually get heavy just because I get tired. You need to find something that is literally heavy to overload your muscles, which then puts stress through the bones, which then makes them become stronger. And through doing all of that, so lift heavy things once a week, Huffy Puffy every day, you are moving towards health, not away from sickness.
Exactly. And what I just got to bring up, sorry, Ben, 2 seconds, sorry. On what Sheridan was saying there is the key is lifting heavy things, not a gym membership. So you don't have to have access to weights in your house. You just have to have innovation for your house. So while you're in your house. So what we're talking about is, you know, a lot of people have these big pot plants, which are heavy for some people. Pick them up.
You've got children.
You've got children. You've got backpacks. You can load that with stuff. You know, just be creative with what is heavy for you, because everybody's different. Like, you're a big, strong man, Ben. I couldn't lift the weights you lift, but obviously, you know, and so it's irrelevant for me to try and do what you're doing because my strength is limited to what I can do. So we always say, try to aim for about 15 to 20 reps, something that's heavy enough that you can only just reach those numbers in an ideal world. And if you can hit those things with stuff in your house, fantastic. That's the lifting heavy things. The key is things, not weights. If you've got weights, great, because that's a thing. But most people don't have weights. 95% of the world don't do anything, so they don't have access to these things. But they have things in their house which are heavy. Couches, wheelbarrows, load the wheelbarrow up with dirt. It's going to get heavier, so, you know, you can lift it that way. Children, bags, suitcases, all that stuff. It's all in your house. You just got to look around and go, what's heavy that I can lift a few times? Only just get to 20. That's the key.
What's the, how often, again, the average punter's going to go, well, how often, Maddie, how often should I do it?
Once per week.
Once a week.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because you're overloading your muscles. So when people exercise, they get that feeling of pain, right? That's that DOMS feeling, and people love it because they can't walk for 3 or 4 days and stuff like that. Well, that feeling is actually the muscle fibers tearing, micro tearing. And that's the reason it sores, because they've been torn and they're starting to repair. Now, that process is called the supercompensation process. Sounds pretty cool because it's the super process that's about to happen. Over a 7-day period, you'll reach repair, complete repair. The challenge is, for the first 2 or 3 days, you're on a decline because your body's sore and it's repairing. On day 2 or 3, it's the sorest you're going to feel. And you're like, oh my God, I worked out a couple of days ago. Now all of a sudden I'm really sore. I'm freaking out. And most people give up about that point because they don't know what's happening. If they wait out another 3 or 4 days, their body fully recovers and they can lift weights again. Most people exercise every 2 days with weights. So they work out on a damaged body the whole time. And that leads to injuries, plateaus, frustration, all that stuff comes from that. So giving yourself 7 days is optimal for a heavy weight session. So once a week.
To make sure you're fully repaired so that you can lift as heavy as possible. So if you go in on day 3, day 2, day 3, day 4, you're not at your optimal strength. So you're just going to do more damage. You're not going to get as much benefit. So we're all about time efficiency and effectiveness. And so, yeah, lifting heavy things once a week.
I love it. So, just to recap, we need to huff and puff preventatively 3 times a day, but the performance on the hour.
On the hour, every half hour, whatever, you know, how often do you want to feel good?
As often as you can.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we need to stimulate our bodies by moving some kind of weight once a week.
Right. Yeah.
I love it.
Pretty
I've got to share with you just before we wrap. I've got a worry. I've got a concern, and that is, you know, that we know that it takes 30 days to change a habit. Yeah. But right now, we have got people that have had a massive shift in their lifestyle that's not going to just occur for 30 days. Some people are going to be working from home. Gyms have closed. The yoga studios have closed. And they're not closing for just 30 days. They're going to be closed for 60 days or 90 days or 6 months. So my concern is that there's a whole audience out there that are going to develop a new habit of not training, of not doing the Huffy Puffy or lifting the weights, not turning up to the gym, of not mixing and socializing in a gym environment where they're championed and pushed to stretch themselves. What do you guys think about that? Have you got a thought on that?
It's scary.
Look, do you know what? There's no better time for people to take massive action and really turn their health around. Yeah. We're forced to be isolated. So now is the time. People are going to be really exciting time for people, for their health and fitness journey to actually be massively kickstarted, step in the right direction.
Yeah. I know you guys are doing some work around this. I saw that this week you guys have moved some of your training sessions to online.
Yeah.
Tell me about that, because that's again like new weird thing, right?
Yeah.
Like I did a new weird thing on Saturday night. We had a dinner with 2 other couples, and they were at their house having the dinner party. We did it all via Zoom, right? We all sat down and had dinner and ate dinner, and they ate dinner in their houses, and we chatted in this kind of crazy Zoom environment. So tell me about this. So you're doing Zoom, is it, for personal training?
So you might see behind us, we've actually got a studio set up now. We've got a recording studio.
Oh, yes.
Lights, projectors,
So
it works.
One of the big things for us in our community and what Fit Body Fit Mind is what we excel at is community and the family feel that we create here. And the one thing that we really didn't want to lose is that connectedness and that community. So we've taken everything online. So there's a couple of ways that we can do it. You can tune in live on Zoom and be interactive with us. We're doing the workout with you. We take it through. We do it 7 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. You've got 2 options there. But then
I log in like this, and I'm at home, and I'm just doing the thing, watching you guys.
Yep.
Having a chat.
Okay.
Exactly. And then the other option is we're also Facebook Living it at the same time. So you can join us that way too. However, we don't have that interactiveness as much on that side of things. And then it's also recorded so you can access it at a later time. Yeah. So if 7 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. doesn't work for you, you can attack the workout at 12 p.m. and that kind of thing too. And we're getting people to post sweaty after selfies to show that kind of like that accountability and a check-in and go, hey guys, I did it too.
Because that's how we remember everyone, because we remember everyone sweaty all the time. So when we see them on the screen, we don't see the sweat, so we miss it. So now they're sending it to us in a picture form, and it's keeping that love, everyone's connecting on Facebook and saying, love this, great work, and they're chatting. So that the community and that talking and support is still there for your health and fitness journey, which is what we thrive on. So.
Accountability makes a difference. I know that when I've trained, I'm here.
Got ya.
I know that when I've trained without you, the quality of my workouts is nowhere near as good. So that sounds like a good thing. So if they wanted to access that, where do they go?
Yes, we will be sending you a link shortly. We'll be able to do online signups, and I'll email it through to you if you could send it out to you guys. We'd love to help them. $20 per week gets you our basic membership, and then there's $39 a week gets you our strength package as well. So we can work with you with what you've got around your home to create that heavy lifting session once a week on top of the Huffy Puffy day-to-day.
And we also have one other one, which is just those people who, it's just the basic service we offer. We just put it on our main Facebook page, and it's a 4-minute daily video that if you just committed to doing this 4 minutes for yourself once a day, twice a day, whatever, it's free, it's totally accessible. It's just on our Facebook. Just head along, like the page, and you'll access all those videos that are posted Monday to Friday, every day, for the rest of the year. It's not apart from the weekend, sorry. And that's just a free service we run for people that just maybe they're going through a bit of financial hardship at the moment and they just need to move. And this way they can get that little hit. It's free, it doesn't cost anything, and they can follow along. We'll support you on Facebook as much as we can as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the Facebook page is Fit Body Fit Mind by Maverick.
I'll put that in.
We'll also
I'll
get
put
you
around the links after we pack up and we'll go through the Facebook. So, guys, thanks so much.
Thank you.
We were going to talk for 5 minutes, and I don't know how long we've talked for, but it feels like probably about half an hour. So thanks so much. Hope everyone got heaps out of that. Have an amazing rest of the day, everybody, and look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.